March the 15th, Pros of Wrestling. Follow it on social media if you're not following it yet. Sound good, guys? So how many of you guys are going to come out for that?
Nobody cares how many of them are going to be coming out for that.
Oh, look, ladies and gentlemen, it's Betty Frenzy again.
It sure is. Are you not going to open up the ropes for me? That seems very rude.
You're lucky I'm a gentleman.
Thank you so much. I just thought our next competitor, he's ready to come out here. So how about a little less of the talky talk and let me introduce our next competitor with a little more razzmatazz.
Razzmatazz?
Thank you. Hey, wait, hang on. Give me that mic, that one's better.
You know, her voice could break glass.
Thank you very much. All right, this next competitor is the greatest wrestling podcaster in the world.
It's a lot of competition.
He's worked with such legends as Jake the Snake Roberts, Ted DiBiase, and Hacksaw Jim Duggan. He is the voice of a generation, Marcus Deangelo.
Well, Betty Frenzy introducing Marcus Deangelo.
I prefer Dominic Deangelo. Hello to Dom out there watching us.
Shout out.
He's much more ethical than his brother. But that glove that you're seeing Marcus Deangelo sport right there was gifted to him legitimately by Ted DiBiase.
You know, I heard these folks talking about Bruno Sammartino, Stan Hansen. You guys get to see a real legend here tonight, the greatest wrestling podcaster of all time. Isn't that right?
That is right. And, you know, you've stepped out of the studio. You've stepped into the ring. You've been making the rounds in the area. What brings you to VCW?
Betty, make no mistake, I make way too much money doing my podcasting to ever stop and do wrestling part-time or full-time. It's a part-time gig for me, folks, because I just take stuff over, whether I'm full-time, part-time, doesn't matter. I've always been good at everything I've ever done, and wrestling is no exception. I'm coming to VCW to take it over just like I've taken over all the other promotions in Pittsburgh and the surrounding area.
Well, it looks like these people, I know they don't deserve the fight that you're about to give, but let's see, who are you going to be fighting tonight?
Well, tonight, Betty, I want to issue an open challenge. I will take on anybody in that locker room. I don't care if it's Glenn Spector. I don't care if it's Kane and Christopher. I don't care if it's Beastman. They step into this ring with me. We all know what the outcome is going to be. It's going to be them looking at the lights.
So it looks like we got to bring them on out.
LaMotta, is this your debut?
I would accept this challenge, but by the time I got to the ring, the show would be over, so I'm going to have to stay here with you guys. I can't leave you unattended. I can't do that to Eamon.
Why did me?
Well, look. What doesn't kill you disappoints us, LaMotta.
Sure does. But I'll tell you who doesn't disappoint. Our boy, Jean-Paul the Miserable.
Introducing from Paris, France, weighing 402 baguettes, he is the master mime, Jean-Paul Le Miserable.
I mean, it's not Beastman, it's not Glenn Spector, but Jean-Paul Le Miserable, the master mime, is a beast of an opponent in his own personal way.
The last time we saw Jean-Paul, he was kicking ass in that Fans Bring the Weapons match.
You know, I know this is Fight Fire with Fire 2, but I hope Jean-Paul is really smart about putting out that cigarette.
I will say that smoking is a terrible habit.
But
my dad, Mr. Braddock, would disagree, but smoking is a terrible habit.
How rude is it to crush a man's cigarette out right in front of him?
Well, they're going to fight about it because here we go. Marcus Deangelo is making his VCW debut.
Well, I will say, if he is the #1 world-renowned wrestling podcaster, he's showing he can talk pretty well. I will say that.
You know who else could talk very well? Jean Paul.
I'm not as versed in his speaking abilities.
Well, he's been trained. He's been trained in the ancient art of mime, going back years and years and years.
Nice leapfrog there by Jean Paul. Wait.
Uh-oh.
Some psychological warfare, I think.
Jean Paul can't get through that door. He can't.
When wood meets fist, it's never a good idea.
Oh my goodness. I didn't even see Jean Paul put that wall up. It's his prerogative to be able to do this.
I wish I knew what the hell was going on here.
Mr. Ross, tear down that wall.
You want George Ross to do anything that involves manual labor? Oh, what's Jean Paul? Oh, does he have his bowling ball back out? Is that the bowling ball, Eamon?
It's going for the spin. Hits it!
This is tremendous.
You know, fellas, I legitimately have a degree in communications, but right now I'm speechless.
That's the
Much
best
like
news
Jean
I've heard
Paul
all
and Ms.
night.
Rob.
Man, hot shot. Marcus Deangelo shutting down Jean Paul with Miseral right there.
If he had a voice beforehand, it would have been gone just there.
I think as much as Marcus Deangelo speaks after the action we've seen, he might be speaking in a higher octave. You know what I mean?
I don't.
Marcus staying right on top of Jean Paul and Ms.
Deangelos
Rob.
is no slouch, a student of the ICW Wrestling Academy. I'm sorry, the ICWA Wrestling Academy.
And now
Look at the paint brushing that he's putting Jean Paul through.
backing now Jean Paul into the corner, and it's raining down on those boots. First bit of momentum here for Marcus Deangelo.
But what makes Jean Paul so difficult as an opponent is you have absolutely no idea what he's going to pull out of his bag of tricks. And look, he has that. What just happened? Oh, he has a blindfold.
Blindfolded him.
That's a blindfold. Hit him. Hit him. Oh, he took that blindfold off, and now he knows that it's George Ross.
Wait, schoolboy, roll up. Only two there.
I hate to be, particular here, be a stickler on details, but George Ross is wearing vertical stripes. Jean Paul wearing horizontal stripes.
Fair point. Marcus in for the cover after that neck breaker, only two. Jeez, this match. Marcus staying right on top of Jean Paul here.
It's not I'm the one that's confused. I knew exactly what was happening. But Deangelo was blindfolded, and he went to hit George Ross.
Again, series of punches there by Marcus. It's a great right hand.
5 minutes have gone by the match. 5 minutes.
And it's been really a night of young up-and-coming talents looking to impress. And with, only two, kick out. But good hook of the leg there by Marcus Deangelo.
Eamon, I mentioned earlier that Ted DiBiase gifted that glove from the Mid-South days to Marcus Deangelo. What do you think the $1 Million Man would think of the mime?
I think that everybody has a price.
There we go.
Why do you think I'm sitting next to you?
Oh, clothesline duck. Marcus plants him with a spine buster.
Planted Jean Paul right there. 2.5.
Lamonte, you brought up an excellent point.
Thank you.
I have all the respect in the world for Ted DiBiase and the legacy of those that came before us, but just because he was gifted this glove, what gives Deangelo the right to use this in an actual match?
Well, right now he's using it to try to asphyxiate Jean Paul.
I think that's an international object of some sort.
Almost a version of the $1 Million Dream here. Jean Paul,
Jean Paul, climbing out of that. And
oh, no, he's got that rope and he's tying him up. It's an illegal choke.
George Ross has to do something. He's using that rope.
Oh, John Paul able to fight free and use that turnbuckle to his advantage.
Well, thank goodness, since Jean Paul was turning blue, choking the airwave.
And now trying to go back in for more, but Jean Paul, ooh, big insecurity right to the back of the head. Oh, and the straps down. Clear sign in wrestling that he means business. Big DDT.
That's the Memphis Mime right there.
No, Marcus still able to get a shoulder up.
Here's what makes the Mime so difficult to face, because there's just a matter of time before he pulls something out of his repertoire.
Now,
and you can see him looking around. He has an idea. He's brainstorming.
Now going to send Marcus up into the top turnbuckle. What could he be thinking?
The closest thing LaMotta comes to brainstorming is a light drizzle.
Out onto the floor. Could that be?
Well, is this a table?
Some weapon of some sort.
Oh, he's setting up.
Yeah, I believe
He's setting up the table. Oh. He's putting that table in position, and now it's just a matter of time. Nighty-night, Mr. Deangelo.
For some reason, I'm not exactly seeing that, but...
Oh! And the table explodes in half!
Marcus using it to his advantage. Cover, hook of the leg.
That is it. That's not fair.
The winner of the match, Marcus Deangelo.
Well, with Jean Paul introducing the table into the matchup.
And Deangelo just used that table to his advantage.
A vicious display by Marcus Deangelo, picking up the
Media Services. We are your sidekick in business for social media, video production, and more. Find out more at sidekickmediaservices.com.